So I don't think necessarily it's the government's responsibility to tell us what to do. I think we need to be doing that amongst ourselves. But the government absolutely need to be doing something about it. But I think the most important thing that they should be doing is following the CARICOM 10-point plan, talking to CARICOM, talking to the diaspora here, talking to the African Union, talking to other leaders of the Commonwealth, and just get involved in conversation. I think apology is essential. I think it's number one in the CARICOM 10-point plan for a reason.
Well, the first thing I think they need to do is to start thinking seriously about repatriating wealth, okay? We talk a lot about repatriation in terms of Africa's diaspora returning to the motherland. So people go from Jamaica, Grenada, Trinidad to Ethiopia or Ghana or wherever. And that's fine. But we need to think in terms of repatriation the other way around. Repatriating to those places the wealth that was created there.
I think the UK government should engage with reparations, particularly in the field of education, because they established, if you like, the academic curricula and also many of the initial very early schools that sort of became the models, if you like, for the British education system with the proceeds of enslavement.
There's one question of when we talk about reparations, the first thing is obviously that you need to stop the harm. You know, you can't talk about reparations when you continue to have like a knife stuck in your back. You know, you need to first take it out in order to be able to talk about repair. And right now what we continue to see is obviously, you know, in these regions and in our lands is we have, extractivist companies, for example, you know, that are mining the minerals, that are taking everything from the subsoil, you know, and all of those resources are being funneled out of the Caribbean, out of, you know, different continents, different territories, and brought into epicenters like the West, right, like the UK.
Yeah, I think the UK has a responsibility to engage with all African people on the issue of reparations. Yeah, Caribbean people from the continent, people who have even been a few generations in this country as well. Something that people try and put into the past, but in fact it's very, very heavily affecting our current situation that we're in. I think that's for African people all across the world, because those crimes of colonialism impacted our development and distorted our history and our historical development on a global scale.
Absolutely, I think the UK has more than a responsibility. It's a moral duty to engage with the Caribbean because of the past that has been done and the repair that is needed. And I think the 10-point plan, which is something that is being driven by CARICOM, is really important, and that education to healthcare to debt cancellation is very key. So I think the UK has a huge responsibility there and can't ignore it. Like, if you know the history, then you can't ignore like what needs to happen.